What's going on, guys? David Falla here, and today I'm going to give you a couple of tips that are going to make you a better barber. So the first tip I have for you is about how to disinfect and how to oil your clippers. I get this question a lot asked all the time about what's the proper way to do it. So what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna follow the instructions on the manual. I know nobody reads ever the manual that comes with machines, but I'm gonna show you exactly what it says there, and so we can apply that to our clippers. It's always important to remember you gotta disinfect your machine in every haircut. Before every haircut, after every haircut, it's important that you disinfect. And what I usually do is that I show my clients, I make sure that I'm cleaning the tools in front of them, right? So like that they know that I'm doing it. Because you know what, some clients are not gonna ask you, they're not gonna ask you really, but they're gonna look if you really clean them. So I make sure that they know that I'm cleaning them, right? So this is what we're gonna do. So this is the machine that I have. It's just a regular machine, with a lever. So we're gonna use this machine. We're gonna use a product like this one, which is the Andy's Cool Care. And you guys you've seen everybody with this. I hope you can see everybody with that. And we're gonna use an oil, just a regular clipper oil. So the first thing that I like to do, obviously, is use kind of like a brush, some type of brush. So usually I have like you see me on the videos, I have this is what I use. I have a white one for the fades, for all that stuff, and the black one is to clean the tools. So first thing you want to do is clean the hair from the machine. So this is the machine right here, and we're gonna go ahead and clean all that hair from it. Okay, once the machine is clean, how you can see, then we're gonna go ahead and use our Cool Care. With the Cool Care, really what you want to do is spray, make sure that it's like everywhere. So pretty much what I do is I turn on the machine, you can see. And one mistake a lot of people do is that they only put it here, but they don't put it here. Remember, the back part of the blade, that's what was gonna go on the skin, right, on the scalp. So you gotta make sure that that's where you're applying the Cool Care. So make sure you're applying it there as well. Once you are done with this, you obviously want to clean off the excess that you have in the machine. You don't want to put it on the skin with a bunch of product in there, right? Well, a bunch of Cool Care in this case, right? So you want to make sure it's clean and and dry, and that's to disinfect. Make sure that you're doing it before every haircut and after every haircut. The reason for it is that once, as I said before, I think I'm getting sick actually. So because you know what, you want the clients to see that you clean it. That's one reason. The second reason is because it usually takes like 10 minutes to disinfect. So if by the end, when you're finishing the haircut, you spray a little bit, first the client's gonna see, okay, this guy is really clean, he's getting the machines ready for the next line. But also while you say bye to the client and he pays you and all that stuff, probably 5-10 minutes are gonna pass. So when the next client comes in, the machines are gonna be disinfected. So always remember that, disinfect before and after. Okay, once you're done with that, make sure you oil your machines, right? Some people oil the machines every single haircut. I personally don't oil my machines every single haircut because the Cool Care already has a little bit of lubricant. So what I usually like to do is every 2-3 haircuts, I oil my machines. So the way I do this, I'm gonna show you right now. So pretty much what it is this. You have the machine here, right? This is your clipper. And then the manufacturer usually recommends like 5 points of lubrication, right? So one point will be here in the middle, and the other corner, on the side, and on the other side. Okay, that's what the manufacturer recommends. So they pretty much recommend 5 drops only. You don't have to put a bunch of oil. If there's too much oil in the machine is gonna start kind of like acting up. So remember, here, here, and here. On the side and on the side, you let it run for a little bit. You let the oil do its thing. Then you clean it off really well. You clean off the excess because you don't want to have a bunch of oil on the machine. So when you're gonna start cutting, you're gonna put all this oil on the people's skins and hairs, and obviously you don't want that. You want to make sure everything is clean and you remove all the excess oil that you don't need there. That's why you don't want to put too much, because if you put too much, it's gonna be harder for you to clean out the excess. So just keep that in mind, guys. Okay, so the second tip that I have for you is how to clean your shavers, right? This is the shaver that I use. Pretty much it's all the same on every single shaver. A lot of people say that you're not supposed to apply Cool Care to this. I don't know why they say that. You know, it's not like the Cool Care is gonna leak inside or anything. It's gonna break the machine. It doesn't happen. You're supposed to like clean it. You're supposed to disinfect it, right? And the Cool Care, that's what it's meant for, right? So I don't know why people say that. You might hear that a lot of people say that, oh yeah, don't put it on the shaver because you're gonna break the foils. Man, that never happened to me before. I have broken foils. Now from these are really good, and this makes really good foils. Wool, when I had my wool, like those used to break all the time. So you know what? I think it was just the wool had like very thin foils, and that's why they used to break a lot. But I mean, that's another thing. So this is what I would usually do. You guys know that it has a little button here. You click on it. Oh, let me see. Let me put it this way. Man, that breaking edges. Okay, so you can see that thing is covering hair, and this is covering hair, right? So usually what I like to do is the following. I grab my little brush, you know, remove all that hair, right? If you have, you know, like this, for example, like on the inside, I don't know if you guys can see, but on the inside it's kind of all covering hair, you know. What you usually do is I just use my blow dryer, really. That looks much better. So once that looks a little bit better, so usually what I like to do is I like to make sure that, you know, everything's super clean, because you know I'm a super clean person when it comes to my barbering, you know, my tools. So I like to make sure everything is really good. Some people remove the actual blades to clean them. If you want to do that, you can do that. You know, I don't feel like at this time I need to do that, to be honest with you. Everything looks fine in there. So that's one thing. The other thing you gotta clean is the foils. The foils get covered in hair a lot, as you can see. So then usually what I do is I hit it a little bit, like in the, you can see, I hit it like against the station first, and then I apply blow dryer. Okay, so that's that. Usually what I like to do also, if I have, right now I don't have one, but if I had like one of those air compressors, or the ones that come sprayed, like a spray that's already like compressed air, then I will clean it with that, right? Once it's clean, then you put it back together, put the machine back together, and make sure it's back together, and I go ahead and apply my Cool Care. So I will grab the machine, turn it on, and apply a little bit of it, right? There you go. So usually what I like to do with this as well is that, right, if I have a client that I'm going to use this machine on, what I like to do, I like to open it in front of them. I don't know, I'm itching everywhere. Anyways, I like to open it and clean it like in front of them, like really quick, you know, so they can see that, you know, they're getting shave or whatever with a clean shaver, you know. Important, guys. Clients might not tell you, but they notice all these little things. So the third tip that I have for you guys is gonna be with regards my shears, right? Two things. One, you know, like make sure, I mean, I did a video about this, but you guys haven't seen it, don't forget to check it out. But pretty much what you do, you want to maintain just one blade, always one blade, you know, moving, you know, that's how you want to cut. So you're doing this, all the time you're using one blade, right? That's one tip. The second tip is that you guys can see me how I hide my shears, right? I'm cutting, I'm doing this, you know, and I always hide them, you know, and then, you know, if you guys always ask me how is it that I do this, and then take them, you know, hide them. So this is what I usually do. You have your shears here, you're cutting, right? You're cutting. So then what I usually do is I drop them and put them here. You can see, you know, that's the way I do it. So I have them right here. I'm cutting, and I don't know where I just drop them like this, and I hide them, right? So usually to bring them back, either I do this, or I usually do this, right? So I just kind of like kick it out. Be careful with this. So I kick it out, and then I bring it back. It's kind of hard to do it like in slow motion, but pretty much I'm going to show you like this. This is what I do. Like, I have them, I'm cutting, put them away, and I just bring them back. You see? So that's usually what I do. I mean, that's just kind of like the way I do it. Many people just do this and then just bring them back like this. So it's up to you guys, but it's important that you hide your shears, just because when you're doing all the things, if you have them like this, they're long, you might poke the person on the head, or you might cut yourself and things like that. So once you have them here, you're a little bit more protected, because you know the blade is, first is closed and second is rested here on your wrist. So it's always important that you remember these type of things. You know, practice, just practice, do this, practice, and you can do them quick. If you want to try the way I do it, you know, usually what I do, I just do this, you know, so I just kind of like have them here, I throw them out, and then, you know, receive them. So kind of hard to do in like slow motion because they open, but you know, you can see it. So that's pretty much, that's tip number 3. Okay, so the third tip that I have is still gonna be with shears, and it's gonna be with the comb. I usually use this type of comb. These are YS Sparks, and these are my shark fin shears. You guys know I love shark fin. They're, to me, some of the best, if not the best, shears on the market. And I'm usually gonna let you guys know if you guys are interested purchasing this type of shears. You know, I'm gonna leave a link in the description, and it has a code. With the code you get a gift with your purchase, or you get actually a second pair for free when you purchase a pair from Shark Fin Shears. So this is, I think it's a great deal for you guys that are looking for high quality shears that are actually really good and all that stuff. So yeah, that was that. Anyways, so you know, like how I said, we talked about the shears and now the comb. The reason why I'm mentioning the comb is because I've seen you guys, so you guys send videos all the time about how you guys cut with shears, because you guys want to get better and you guys want my advice. So one thing that I've seen is that when you guys are cutting, you guys don't know what to do with this once you guys grab the hair. So I've seen that you guys grab the hair and then just put the comb somewhere, and then we don't know what happened to that comb, right? You don't want to lower the comb because it's going to get infected, right? So you want to keep it always on your hand. So pretty much what I want you to practice is this. Once you grab the hair, you comb the hair, you put that comb, you're going to put it here, right? And then you're going to cut, right? So you got to practice doing this. So you have your here, right? You comb, you pass the comb to the other hand, and then you cut. Right, so you gotta practice how to do this. This pretty much is gonna be what you're gonna be practicing. You know, just practice a lot. You know, make sure you don't put that comb somewhere else. You're gonna get infected. You know, you're gonna have to disinfect or grab a different comb every time you comb one section. So you wanna make sure that this doesn't leave your hands. You know, just put it here. You know, usually what I do. So I have it here. Put it right here, right, and then I can just cut and then bring it back here, and that's it. You know, that was tip number 4, guys. Okay, tip number 5, I think that's where we are. It's gonna be about like straight edge, right? And how I put the blade there. Because I have a particular way how I do it. Everybody does it differently, so I wanted to show you this because it might help you. It might help you guys. So these are the type of blades I use. You know, so you cut them in half. Already have half the blade. You can see there, half the blade. Okay. So usually what I do, I have it right here. Right, and then usually what I do, let me go out and get out of the way so the camera can focus. Okay, so what I do, I put my nail right there, and I put the blade. You know, be very careful. What I usually do, I like one side to be a little bit lower, so kind of create like a slope. So usually what I do, I kind of do this, and then you can see. So let me go back here. You guys can see. This side is a little bit lower, so let me just see if I can make it a little bit more drastic so you guys can really see this. So there you go. So that's usually how I put my blades. So you can see, I don't know if you can see it there, the contrast. So this side is a little bit higher than this one. The reason for it is because when I'm like shaping up like the face or the back, being on an angle makes it easier for me to like reach those areas, right? So I do need to see the blade. I need to see, I'm that type of person, I need to see like where the blade is, so that's why it has to be a little bit out. But having that one corner allows me for a little bit more detail. You know, that works for me, guys. If it doesn't work for you, doesn't make it wrong. It's just the way I do it, and it works for me. You guys can try it. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, then go back to the way that works for you guys. Remember that any tip or anything that anybody tells you, it just has to do with their personal preference and what works for them. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't make it wrong. It just makes it, you know, it's different, just different methods to achieve the same thing. And that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for different ways to do the same thing. The tip number 6 that I have for you guys is about the blow dryer, right? Many people ask me always for advice about how to style hair and all that stuff, right? And believe it or not, like, people have noticed that usually blow dryers have a blue button, right? Or have a separate button, right? A lot of people don't know what it is. I mean, obviously people know that it's cold air, but they don't know what the cold air is for, right? Because it's a blow dryer, it's supposed to be hot, why the cold air? So I'm gonna explain to you pretty much what it is. So when you use hot air, right, on the hair, you are molding the hair the way you want it to style, right? So think about it like this. You have a t-shirt like this one that is all wrinkled, right? And it's itching for some reason. I'm covering hair, I guess. So because of it, you know, it's wrinkled, right? You want to use something to make it not wrinkle, right? So in that case, it's when you use a flat iron, right, to flat and iron the shirt so it's not wrinkled anymore, right? If you think about it, when you're applying pressure, you know, you're applying pressure or tension, and you're applying the heat, what that's going to create is going to create like having a flatter surface, and that's in this case it's going to stretch the shirt, and it's going to make it not wrinkle, right? Because of the heat and the tension, right? So it's pretty much the same with the hair. When you are blow drying hair, you stretch it, or you create tension with your brush or your comb, you know, you create tension, then you're applying hot air, right? That's one thing. Once you have it already, you style like that, if you think about it, the hair is going to be hot, right? It's going to be really hot, but it's going to kind of gotta be wobbly, right? It's going to move around. So what you want to freeze that hair where it is, right? You want to just you create the style, you want it to freeze there, you want to stay there, right? That's where the cold air comes in, right? So the same thing with the shirt, right? If you have the shirt and you iron the shirt, and then you go ahead and make a ball in it when it's hot, once it cools off, it's gonna be all wrinkled again, right? So you want to make sure that it kind of like cools off when the shirt is the way that you want it to be. So with the hair, it's the same thing. So you go ahead and apply cold air to the hair how you have it already, and that's gonna freeze that style into place, so that's gonna stay like that longer, right? That's what the cold air is for. Some people don't even use the cold air. Some people use this part of the blow dryer because it does have cold air. So you know, but I use that's my blow dryer has the button, so I use my blow button. Another way you can explain to you guys is, for example, like those samurai swords. You've seen them when in the movies. There's a guy like hitting it, you know, and then you know, super hot. You can see it's like orange, right? Because it's so hot, blah blah blah. And I don't know where they throw in cold water, and then the blade stays the way that they made it, you know, the way it's supposed to stay. So that's pretty much what it is with the hair. So once you apply hot air, you want to apply cold air to freeze the hair where it is, and it's gonna stay like that longer. And that was tip number, I don't even know, one of those tips, 5, 4, I don't even know. And that was it for the tips, guys. These tips are obviously for beginners and for everybody, because I'm pretty sure some of you maybe didn't know a couple of things from there. So you know, sometimes when I see the tips like this, I'm like, oh really? Like, I've been cutting for so long, I didn't know that, right? So I just wanted to make different content for you guys. So one thing I do want to say, I want to say Happy New Year, guys. I mean, the last week of December was crazy for me. I was here. I felt like I slept here the whole week, for real. Like, it was so busy. So, but yeah, guys, I wanna wish everybody a happy New Year, happy 2019, and I want to know what you guys' resolutions are gonna be for next year. Well, for this year actually. So I want to know what you guys have prepared for this year, because it's important. It's important for you guys to know exactly where you guys are going. If you guys don't know where you guys going, or at least have an idea where you guys want to be, you guys are never gonna get there. So the one thing that I always tell people is this: like, you might not know exactly where you want to be, but you want to know, you know exactly like how, like around what area you want to be, right? So think about it like this: if you are in a car, right? Somebody gives you a car, and you're like, okay, and they tell you drive, and you start driving, and you don't know where you're going. First, you're gonna start wondering where you're going. Second, you're never gonna get to the place you wanna be, because you don't even know where you're going, right? That's what a lot of people happen to. A lot of people, they start driving, they just let life pass, they just continue driving and going, but they don't know where they're going, right? They don't know exactly what goal they want to achieve. So they don't do anything, they don't get to anywhere, right? And if I, you know, if you're in the car with me and I tell you, okay, we're gonna go to your house, right? You know where your house is, so you're gonna know exactly how to get there, right? Even if the roads are closed, right, because there's construction, this and that, it's not gonna stop you from getting home. You know, you are gonna get home one way or the other. You will find a way because you have a destination, so you know where you're going, right? So it's important for you guys to know like where you guys want to be and you know what direction you guys want to go, so like that you can actually make it happen. So that's my resolution for this year, is kind of find out exactly where I want to be, which I already know, but I want to just define those goals so it makes it easier for me to achieve, right? So I would love to hear from you guys what you guys are doing this year. If you guys want to share with me, leave it on the comments, because I would love to read the resolution that you guys have. And also let me know what you guys think about these type of videos. I want to create different content, guys, for 2019. I love doing the tutorials because they're super fun and you guys learn a lot, but there's so much more I can teach you guys about, like barbering and business and all the other stuff that I can help you with, right? So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Share the video with those people that you think that it could help, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. All right, guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.